Hey everybody, it's the Lit Optimist, and today I'm talking about Jerusalem's Lot. I was wondering if I should review it in the way they came out, which is Salem's Lot, then One for the Road, then Jerusalem's Lot. I think it'd be much better if I just did it in its sequential way, even though like you could argue that they're not really that connected. They're only connected by the town itself of Jerusalem's Lot. I think fuck it, let me just talk about the early days, the boring days. Let me talk about the great chunky story that is Salem's Lot next week, and then the week after I'll talk about One for the Road, a great little sequel kind of. Jerusalem's Lot. So after doubling down on the brilliance of Salem's Lot with the sort of sequel One for the Road, Stephen King decided to triple that shit with his next short story. Even though this is a short story, it's so damn lengthy, which I blame on the old-fashioned ye old English style of writing. Told through letters written by Charles Boone to an unknown person he refers to as Bones, he talks about the strange town of Jerusalem's Lot and seeks to get to the bottom of the weird happenings. His strange fascination leads to him figuring out that his ancestor, James Boone, is the one who founded the town, and oh look, he was a cult leader as well. How fun. Even though this is kind of boring and my least favorite of King's Salem's Lot trilogy, it's still got some neat information in it. I love pretty much anything involving Salem's Lot, such a great mythos. Thanks go to Natalie Titus for requesting the short story. Um, yeah, before the Dark Tower, before all this other shit like that he wrote, like the Dark Tower is like his magnum opus. Is like his biggest writing accomplishment ever. It's connected with pretty much everything that he's ever written. But it could be argued like there's a bunch of theories going around that these other stories tie into these as well. Like Salem's Lot shows up in other stories. And they talk about that haunted town and the weird, you know, the myths that go on there that aren't really myths that we when we read these novels. Jerusalem's Lot is a town in Maine, I believe, a fictional town in Maine that is overrun by vampires. In Jerusalem's Lot, they kind of touch on the vampiric shit, but it all started with a cult and with this magic, this dark magic, and then it evolved into vampires, and then we get to see that in Salem's Lot and how that unfolded. And I can't wait to talk about that next week because it's so good. I was like, there's no way. I love vampires. There's no way that Salem's Lot is going to be Carrie. And then I read it and I was like, what the fuck? Like, how does he do this? How does Stephen King do this? This is amazing. And Jerusalem's Lot, it's not really a novella. It's not long enough to be a novella. It's just under the length to count as a novella, which is like a short story that's a little bit longer than the normal short story. And it's just under a novel. It's not long enough to be a novel. It's right there, smack dab in the middle. This is like a little inch shorter than that. And yes, it's like, oh, back in my day, like this, the writing, and it's like, let's read this. But he does a great job at like mimicking that time period and like writing in that time period. It's like, oh, like this is really cool. He's good at world building, character building. He's is really good to get it gets you invested. The only reason that I kept being invested in this short story and I got to finish it was one, it's short. Two, I'm already invested in Salem's Lot. This is cool, and so that's a good thing to do is to release them the way he did. Salem's Lot first, get you to the meat and bones. This is great. One for the Road is a great sequel esque thing. It takes place after Salem's Lot. It involves Salem's Lot, but the characters from Salem's Lot don't make an appearance. And then Jerusalem's Lot. Let's release that one too. Um, and before Dark Tower, when he built that whole world, this was his first world, really. Like Jerusalem's Lot. Like it's really great that he built this. And it's kind of like his test run for building the entire Dark Tower series. Like, man, and I'm almost done. I'm doing a Dark Tower update. I stopped doing those for a while, but personally for you, Natalie, and you, Ben, um, I'm almost done with the Wind Through the Keyhole. I finished the story within the story, and now I'm like on page 50 of 54, 50, 54. The pages are like they're treated as chapters, and I read a chapter a day. So I'll be done this week, and really excited about that. Jerusalem's Lot, great it's fun and it's awesome, and it's nice that they followed up with it. And now I'm repeating myself, so I'm gonna turn the video off. You guys have a good one as always. Thanks to my cousin Natalie. Um, who without I probably would never get into this shit. Like I would like, okay, yeah, someone requested read it, and I would read it and be like, man, Stephen King's amazing, and I wouldn't touch any other books. I'd be like until somebody requested it. Now, even without her, when I get to the end of wherever she requested every Stephen King thing ever, when it stops being like, okay, thanks go to Natalie, I'm still gonna read his shit because I'm like, this is it's so good. That's the end. Bye. Have a good one. Jerusalem's Lot was good. Bye.